Karen, and there
I
you go.
just did.
Beautiful. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Great to see you. I'm Victoria, and of course, you know the lovely Karen Mays, and I'm so happy that you're with us today. And before we begin, I want to acknowledge something simple and important. You chose to be here. In the middle of a full day, you paused. And that matters. So many of us aren't craving more information, more knowledge. What we're actually craving is steadiness, a little more space inside ourselves, a little less reacting, and a little more capacity. Life is loud, right? Can you relate to that? Life is loud. And even when things are fine, even good, it can feel like we're constantly managing something. And today we're exploring something subtle but powerful, the difference between relief and regulation. So before we dig in, let me share a little bit about myself. In my previous life as a successful film and TV producer, I was used to helping writers, directors, producers, and actors fulfill their dreams. But one day, I woke up and realized that I wasn't showing up for myself. And despite having a glamorous life on the outside, I actually wasn't happy on the inside. During my personal development journey, I discovered I could quiet the noise of life, that I could choose me, advocate for self-regulation and balance versus relief. And in so doing, I discovered a whole new path. And that's what led me here, hosting Happiness Hangouts with the lovely Karen Mays. Karen, would you love to introduce yourself?
I would. Thank you, Victoria. I am Karen Mays. I'm a health and happiness coach, and my work centers on helping people build sustainable health and happiness from the inside out. I believe that we build capacity for all emotions, whether it's joy, sorrow, anger, excitement, through behavior, awareness, and mindset, through habits and self-trust. So we can live from inner stability instead of a constant urgency or feeling of lack. So this space right here, it's not about information, it's about integration. It's not collecting ideas, it's practicing together. And I'm really grateful that we're here together today.
Yeah, love it. So let's begin with a grounding breath together. And if it's safe for you to do so, I invite you to close your eyes and gently breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth as if you're blowing out through a straw. And we'll do that a couple of times together. And as you do that, feel your feet on the floor. Let your shoulders soften. And let whatever you've already been carrying today rest for this time together. You'll have time to come back to that later. For now, simply give yourself permission to be here, to be present. And take another lovely deep breath, deep nourishing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you open your eyes, just drop into the chat something that you're grateful for. Something that you're grateful for right now. And Karen, I'm going to share, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to technology connecting us. I'm currently in Prague, the other side of the world, and look at us interacting in real time. It's fantastic. I'm so grateful.
I am also very, very grateful for that, as you know, and I'm always grateful to you and your steadiness throughout this happiness journey that we're on together. Um, Ryan says he's grateful for the view outside his kitchen window. I love
Mm.
that. And one of I'll kind of wrap two things into one. One of my favorite ways to kind of become more present when I'm aware that I'm not is to look around my environment. Your five senses, something you can see, something you can hear, taste, smell. And so I have something that kind of fits all of those. My warm cup of tea. I'm very grateful for
Mm.
my, it's a rainy, gray day here, kind of dreary, it's not as cold as it's been, but it's cold enough. And so I'm grateful to have a little cup of warmth.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
we invite you to drop your intention for being here today. What is it that you're hoping to hear or discover in this time that you're here today?
Mm. It's
It's a
still
great,
good to think about an
go
intention,
ahead.
right? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just what you said. It's great to declare your intention. I love to say it's because when your mind wanders over this time together, which we know it does, you can quietly bring it back to that intention.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Diane just joined. Welcome, Diane. We're just getting started, and so if you once you're kind of settled, we'd love to hear what you're grateful for in the chat, and maybe what your intention for this time together today might be. Would love to hear that in the chat. We love reading these responses. The gratitude gives our nervous systems a chance to steady and something to gently orient toward, and the intention grounds us in this time and place with purpose. It's really great to create that internal space. And
Absolutely.
I'll just go right into a piece of my own story because all of this is so relevant to me personally. Um, for a long time, I didn't know there was a difference between healthy coping and unhealthy coping. That's kind of what the topic we're going to dig into a little bit today is coping with stressful emotions. Sometimes it's even coping with positive emotions. I know when I felt overwhelmed or emotional, my instinct was to make it stop, fix it, power through, distract myself, eat something, scroll, stay busy. But I didn't realize that I wasn't really coping. I was just chasing relief. And you know what? The truth is, relief works for a little while, but the feelings come back. And what I found is that when I actually suppressed them, tried to ignore them, pretend they didn't exist, they actually came back stronger. And over time, it felt like I needed more and more relief just to survive the day, more stimulation, more distraction, more comfort. And I knew I had a lot to be grateful for, but I was just so numb and so drained, so busy coping that I didn't have the capacity to feel all of that gratitude. And my health journey was the first break of that pattern. It led me to personal development, which led me to coaching, which led me to learning about happiness and happy for no reason, which is how Victoria and I came to know one another. And I began to understand something that changed everything. The problem isn't relief. The problem is when relief becomes the primary coping architecture.
Yeah, I love that. The problem is when relief becomes our primary coping architecture. So well said, Karen. And for me, in my busy career, I was so exhausted at the end of the work week. All I felt like doing was binge watching Netflix for most of the weekend, supported with ordering in food along with my alcohol of choice. And it was many, many years of that kind of numbing that made me think there must be another way to turning off my overactive monkey mind. And so that led me to reading, studying, and understanding that I could think my thoughts rather than having my thoughts think me. And that comes from building capacity inside oneself.
Yes, that's so good. I love that. And when life feels emotionally charged, most of us reach for solutions, right? Plans, fixes, strategies. But today we want to ask a different question, which is simply, am I reaching for relief or regulation? Relief says, make this go away, make this stop. And regulation says, help my system process this feeling safely. Relief often works fast, and regulation works deep. Relief changes the moment, and regulation changes capacity.
Yeah. And, it's also important to know that relief isn't evil. Scrolling isn't evil. But if every uncomfortable pause gets filled instantly, we lose our ability to sit with ourselves. We lose our ability to be within ourselves. And that ability, stillness without fleeing, is a cornerstone of happiness. And relief in everyday life can look like opening Instagram without thinking, grabbing a snack when you're not actually hungry, turning on noise because silence feels uncomfortable, saying yes because saying no feels awkward, staying busy so you don't have to sit still, having alcohol at the earliest opportunity. There's a reason for the phrase, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. And have you ever gone to someone's house and they have the TV or the radio on all the time? Now, it's important to note that we're not judging. None of these in themselves are evil. They're not wrong. They're simply fast, reactive, and short-lived relief.
Yes, yes. And regulation looks different. So instead of scrolling immediately, maybe I pause and I notice the discomfort that I'm in. And instead of numbing with food, I can ask myself what I'm actually feeling. Instead of overworking, I can step outside for 5 minutes. Regulation looks quieter oftentimes, pausing before responding, taking deep breaths, going for a walk, letting myself feel irritation without trying to address or fix it immediately. Sometimes just saying, you know what, I need a minute and stepping away, or putting my phone down and just tolerating the discomfort. It's not dramatic. It's actually quite small. Relief shrinks that discomfort quickly, but regulation expands tolerance slowly. And tolerance is one way to look at freedom.
Mm. Yeah. When you can feel a feeling without immediately numbing it, your life gets bigger as well. And I want to note that it's important to give yourself permission to feel a feeling. Like we've spent a lot of time running away from feelings. And yet, if you give yourself permission to feel it, it may not actually be as bad as you
Mm.
have been fearing it to be. And everyday coping supports stress, overwhelm, irritation, and emotional noise. It's regular maintenance. It keeps the pressure from building.
Yeah, and those major events in life, the you talked about the grief and the trauma, they may take more time and more space and more support. Trying to quick fix those things isn't healthy coping. Um, everyday stress and major events both matter. They just need different kinds of care.
Yeah. So let's pause here and do a fun exercise. It's called Super Brain Yoga. So, Super Brain Yoga is yoga for the brain and was introduced by Master Stephen Coe. And Super Brain Yoga, I love that it's Super Brain Yoga. It's not just brain yoga, it's Super Brain Yoga. It helps stimulate neural pathways by activating acupressure points on the earlobe. It increases mental agility and creates balance for your brain. And after doing super brain yoga, EEGs have shown that the right and left hemispheres are synchronized, perfect for regulation. So let's do this together. Karen's going to tell us how to do it. I'll
I
let
am.
Julian.
No, thank you. So, okay. First, stand up if you're able to, and if not, you can come back to the replay of this later and follow along. Um, but the first thing you want to do is stand up and place your tongue on your upper palate, the roof of your mouth. And then take your left hand and hold your right earlobe with the thumb in front. So like this, pinch your earlobe comfortably. And then take your right arm and cross it over to grasp your left earlobe in the same way. And then we're going to do some squats safely, as far down as you can. Just squat down and exhale as you come up. So inhale down, exhale up. And we're just going to do 5 more together. Inhale down, exhale up. One more. We look pretty funny, Victoria, going up and down. But notice how you feel. This is really it's a really great thing to do. I did it last night when I was feeling kind of drained, and it really did help me shift.
I mean, the distraction alone, right? Like, I'm focusing really mindfully on what I'm doing there. So, yes, you get to shake it out with an R, and thank you for playing full out. That's an exercise you can do anytime and as many as you would like. So,
Hmm.
you can build up the muscles in your legs at the same time. So, now that you're feeling regulated and clear of mind, let's ask ourselves, where do you reach for relief most quickly? Is it your phone? Is it food? Do you beeline for the fridge? Are you moving into busyness? Is it putting on background noise? Are you overcommitting yourself? Or are you staying on all the time? That was something I did, staying on all the time. And this process is not for you to judge yourself. This is simply for you to notice where you have been reaching for short-term relief. So if you'd
Yeah.
love to put something in the chat, we'd love to hear what you've been doing.
Yes. And the first step might just be noticing. I know I've found that myself, especially with the phone. It's always nearby and it's so easy to reach for it. And so I'm always kind of trying to break myself of that little loop. So the next thing to find out is what would regulation look like in that moment when you're doing that reaching, that sort of automatic reaching. This is not about personality change, it's just a small shift. Diane says she
And I
throws
want to
herself
say,
into deeper into work.
yeah, I was just going to say that. So Diane is notices that she throws herself deeper into work. So great noticing that that is your relief. Your staying in action is throwing yourself deeper into work. And honestly, I can absolutely relate to that. I
Mhm.
spent many, many years doing that. So, what would regulation look like for you in that same moment, Diane? What is it that you could do that actually is regulating yourself instead of automatically throwing yourself deeper into work? Is it simply noticing, breathing, and responding in a slightly different way?
Maybe it's just a matter of slowing down and identifying what's stressing me out and causing me to push harder working, right? And maybe deal with it instead of just pushing it to the side and working harder.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Great awareness and absolutely you're building a sustainable muscle there. Noticing it, pausing, understanding what it is that you are moving away from, what's the feeling tone that you're moving away from and moving into by delving deeper into work. It's so, so good. I mean, once again, I want to say, um, we collectively have spent a lifetime avoiding feeling certain things. And yet, when we give ourselves that permission to feel it, it may pass in just a few minutes. And we're like, oh my gosh, it wasn't so bad after all. It's like, okay, I felt sad. Okay, well,
Hmm.
it's okay to feel sad, right? But I've
Yeah.
been avoiding that. I've been avoiding feeling that, suppressing
Hmm.
it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And
Yeah.
actually feeling it, it will pass through so quickly.
Yeah. Just, I'm going to jump in for just a second here because I think you said something so powerful, Victoria, which is something that I struggled with at first when I first started kind of this self-awareness journey around this kind of thing. First, you got to name it. Like sometimes I didn't even know what it was. Like Diane kind of just alluded to it too, like pausing and like, okay, what's really going on here? And I know I personally used to lump a lot of things into the word overwhelm. And so it was just, okay, I feel overwhelmed. What does that mean? Like what's overwhelming me? And what's the emotion beneath the overwhelm? For me personally, a lot of times it came down to like anger, suppressed anger, and
Mm,
and actually expressing it in a healthy way made a big difference.
yeah, beautiful. I mean, well done. Right? Like this is our life's work is unearthing what it is that we're doing in the short-term relief moments, whether it's reaching for the fridge, having a drink, whatever, and then going, okay, yeah, if I name it, overwhelm, anger, frustration. Oh yeah, I'm really pissed off right now.
Mhm.
And then amazingly enough, like one doesn't actually stay super pissed off for a long period of time. So
Yeah.
good. So good. Would anyone else love to share a revelation, an aha of what they have been doing that has been serving as short-term relief?
I can share something briefly. I alluded to it already with my phone. Like I already know something about myself, which is that I don't, that I struggle is not the right word, but I have some friction with transitions between things. And so one way I would try to sort of smooth transitions was every time, like whether it's pulling up in front of my house in the driveway or um, the other day I was leaving a class at the gym and I'm like, pulled out my phone, like, oh, I'll check Facebook. And but I put an app on my phone recently. No, no, not sponsored, but it's called Screen Zen, and it's very like it's a donation model. Anyway, I've have it set up so that every time I open Facebook, I have to wait 20 seconds, and it's like, and that
Oh,
that little bit of a buffer has put. I was like, okay, I'm walking in my car. Do I really? By the time the 20 seconds is up, I'll pretty much be like I just put the phone away you know. And it's funny that just like that little bit of a transition, I didn't wouldn't have necessarily even known that I was uncomfortable if I hadn't put that little stopgap in place.
mm.
But it's just these little moments throughout the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ryan's written that he does a mix of things, but he does tend to do until he doesn't have quality him time. Yeah, right. We fill the time, we fill the space. Absolutely. Yeah, mine was, I mean, I will share it again, but mine was as soon as I got home, I reached for a drink. And actually, in when I finally noticed that and reached for the pause, it's like what my body is craving in this moment is hydration. It does not need alcohol, it
Mm-hmm.
needs hydration.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we get to learn so much about ourselves as we pause, as we notice, as we become aware. I love to say that we become the scientist, like
Mhm.
understanding ourselves, creating like our own data collection about our own behaviors. So good. So let's add another layer to this. And we ask you if you were to take just a little more responsibility for your happiness this week, what would you do? And we're not talking about overhauling your life. This is simply a little more responsibility. And is it pausing, as Karen just mentioned, pausing before going on Facebook? And you mentioned 20 seconds, Karen. So pausing before scrolling, going to bed earlier at least once per week, saying no, protecting, respecting your boundaries, taking a short walk, or letting yourself feel something without immediately thinking or feeling you need to fix it. And could it be my favorite, spending more time hugging a pet, a tree, or even admiring your houseplants? What would you choose if you were to take just a little more responsibility for your happiness this week? Go ahead, Diane.
I'm not sure. I like to go lay in a tanning bed for 15 minutes, and I don't get to do that very often. So that would make me happy. I feel good when I'm in there for 15 minutes. I can just shut down and just be.
Beautiful.
Hmm,
Beautiful. Well, we hold that for you. We hold that for you for this upcoming week.
thank you.
Hmm. So good. All right. Well, so if today resonated with you and you'd like more conversations like this, please come join us in the Brighter Days Facebook community.
Absolutely. It's a space where we continue building sustainable happiness together, not perfection, but with awareness and resilience. And you'll find the link in the chat if you're already a member. Fantastic. We'll see you in the group.
And so
Awesome.
let's close with a happy for no reason, loving kindness reflection. Once again, invite you to breathe in slowly and to breathe out slowly through your mouth, as if you're blowing out through a straw. And then repeat the following phrases as I say them out loud. Say them silently to yourself. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live in peace. And continue those wishes towards yourself for a few seconds until you experience a sense of peace inside. And now start to think of your friends and family and picture them as you send the following wishes to them. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live in peace. And continue sending those wishes until you feel that flow of love in your heart. And now send these wishes to all living beings in the world. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live in peace. And feel a sense of expansion in your heart.
Hmm. Turning towards ourselves can feel unfamiliar, but when you get right down to it, it's the only way I know to serve from overflow instead of depletion. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Thank you for being here and practicing with us this week. We do have an announcement, right, Victoria? We are not going to meet on March 6th. But we will the following week be going live in the group.
Yes. So stay tuned for a time and place for a Facebook Live, Karen and Victoria, Facebook Live.
Yes. And we will be back here on March 20th, so a month from today, 4 weeks from today, and we hope that you'll be able to join us then. And between now and then, we will see you in the Brighter Days Facebook group. Have an amazing week, everybody. Make it a happy one.
You
Thank
guys
you
too.
so
Take care.
much.
Have a good
Thank you
weekend.
so much.
Thanks for
Bye.
being here, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.